Hello everyone and welcome to Skycurser Daily number 19. Today we are going to recap on what we covered last time, and then we're going to pick right up where we left off. Welcome to Sky. So what we're going to cover exactly is related to what we were working on last time in daily number 18. Specifically, we upgraded GameMaker to the new version of GameMaker, and we ran into some problems when we did that. GameMaker recently changed their variable scoping, so I am just trying to get a handle on the new variable scoping, and we're probably going to be addressing some of those issues the rest of the day. If I am able to finish those, then we'll move on to some of the feedback from MGC. This shouldn't take too long to get into, so let's go ahead and just play through the game until we have an issue. I know we're going to see here in just a little bit that the game will probably break, likely very soon, and so I'm going to, once we identify the bug, we can come back out and begin addressing it. So let's go ahead and get started. And we'll just go ahead and do a compile, go straight in. Alright, it is compiling. Looks like it's almost done. The first compile always seems to be the longest. And it looks like it did some converting of the sounds. I'm not sure if the sounds were recently updated. I don't think they would have been. I haven't pulled from any of our version controls, so now we're just waiting for everything to compile, everything else. Okay, here we go.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
Okay, here we go. Copy this. And then view the output here. So it then has a problem in the middle of the collision. Again, not super intuitive. Gonna open my IDE and paste in the error. Object index -4, name undefined, and hit 5 basically turns into -4. Notice all these other variables. I have a feeling hit 5 gets overwritten somehow by these guys right here. So let's head back over to GameMaker and see if we can find this. So scripts, weapons, weapon attack. And we're looking for hit 5 because that's basically when the issue occurs. I'm going to do a search for hit 5. We did this the other day. Let's do whole word only. And looking at that bug, line 143. Had a problem with hit 5.id. And I don't see any more references to hit 5 this way or this way. I would really prefer not to have to put this back in the object itself, the carrier object. Or I guess I would probably end up putting this in the katana object. The reason being it's kind of nice to have it the way it is instead of having to rework everything. And so you know, that being said, I might go ahead and try this, see if I can take this out of here. Sad that basically at some point it has a problem. I've noticed it's basically when the katana at some point hits the carrier, or the tank as we call it. If argument 0.x and y connect with object tank 1, argument 0 in this case is the katana. I did basically do a var hit 5 equals 0. It's basically resetting it. Looking at that compile window again if I can. Here it is. Because this is about the only way that we really have to troubleshoot it. So I'm wondering if hit 1A, hit 2, hit 5A. I'm wondering if -4, in this case the object index, is referring to it may be referring to the katana itself. I was going to do a get name on that, I remember. And I think I even did. So I've got this instance where I'm getting the name of it. So object index is here, and current collision is here. So current collision shows tank 1, tank 1, tank 1 throughout, which is what it should be. But then all of a sudden has a problem with its ID. It goes from 101382 multiple times to 45 to -4. Does the Yo-Yo Games news page background not annoy you? Let's go check it out. Oh, you mean right inside of Game Maker here? Well, I only ever see it when I start up the game, and it's kind of nice just to look at the headlines, kind of see what content they're producing. Um, it's kind of interesting to see what they're doing with it, but no, it doesn't annoy me too much. Why? What do you replace it with? Billy Bob Joe 556? Var hit 5 equals 0. I wonder if I could. I'm also reading some scoping material. So, they released the version I'm on now in January 2014. In case you're joining the stream and you're not sure why, I just am just now having this problem. Basically, I tried to upgrade back in I don't know, roughly when the current version that I'm on now came out. I had some issues with variables. Then I'm basically having the same issues now, and I rolled back to the previous version at that point, mainly because we had an event that was coming up really soon. And so I've stayed on that version for a while, and we just went to MGC, the Midwest Gaming Classic, and we just got back, and so now I'm ready to address these issues. So that's kind of what I'm working through right now. I did the upgrade on the last stream with Game Maker, and I have had a feeling that I might have these issues, so I kind of did it on stream just in case I did. Then we could work through them kind of together and figure out kind of maybe how to rework the code together so that we can just all benefit from this moving forward. I usually see if there's something new, and if not, I just exit out. Yeah, that makes sense, Billy Bob. I sometimes exit out, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me that much to just have it there in between screens here, so makes sense. I'm tempted to take this guy right here straight over to the copy, and I would like to comment all this out. I'm tempted to take him over to the Katana step event because I have a feeling that would correct it, but I'm not entirely sure based on all the recent updates, so I'm going to go ahead and test this out and see if this is the case. If it is the case, I'm going to be kind of upset because this is a really bad way to keep everything organized. It's not a very good way to keep everything organized, in fact. Okay, here's the initial code that I had. It's been updated a lot since then. I'm going to comment everything else out. I'm going to go ahead and let that other script run as well, and just let this one run alongside of it. Basically, as you can see, at one point I had all the script code in the step event, but then I learned a new and what I felt like was a better way to organize files. So I put the same code in the step event, and now it seems like I may have to basically put it back here. We're basically testing that theory. I don't need these debug messages right now. I don't need to run the check for which item is running through the script. I think I can remove the hit 5 var. Again, don't need to check the script. I know that actually the Griffin special won't even run through here. Should connect hit 5 is fine to leave the way it is. I can remove this line, this if-else statement because I'm only working with the katana in here. Everything else looks good. I only need X and Y. Argument 0, argument 0.y. Again, let's see. This will not exist. And everything else looks good. I don't see any references to argument 0, which is basically the ID. You're basically I was basically passing the ID of this object into the script, and so everything that is that I was using as an instance variable was being referenced as a instance variable by id.x, id.y. So let's try this. That's been updated. And head back over. Try it out. I'm going to probably fast forward. I'll try swiping the katana blade a couple times before, and I'll head back over to the carrier by just doing a fast forward.
Mission 1. Death at dusk.
Yep,
Go!
good so far. Still swipe perfectly. Okay, let's just go a little further. Everything looks and feels good so far. Here we go. Has a problem. So it's having a problem with hit 5.katana hit counter again. Same exact line basically, except now in this file, hit 5.katana hit counter. Basically it's saying, I'll go ahead and abort this. Basically it's saying, of course it errored out differently up here because I was doing a debug message ahead of time, but it's got the same problem. -4 name undefined, and then it stops at hit 5.katana hit counter. Let's see what happened to the variables, the instance variables, and then I'm guessing they all change over to -4 again. -4, everything is -4. I've got an idea. I almost feel like the variables that are found in the shotgun shell and the mini bullet are overriding the variables in the katana blade. So we're going to try that. Where's the mini bullet? There it is. See if this is in its own yet. No, it is not. Hit 5. Of course, all these look the same. They were, the goal was basically to put all of them through the weapon attack. And I thought kind of that I was doing that. Let's see, the mini blast bullet. Does that come through here? Nope. Griffin special, enemy 1 attack, Skycurser katana. So I wonder what could happen if, let's just do this quick. Comment this guy out, save, and do the same thing on the mini blast bullet. Here we go, close that out. Save. Okay, these are 2 other items that are instantiated by Skycurser. When Skycurser presses a button, you either use the shotgun blast or you have the mini cannon, Vulcan mini cannon. Thanks, Billy Bob. Yeah, Chris is actually in chat as well. And Chris is Skycurser. I'm Skycurser Dev. Chris is Skycurser. He's the art director. He's the one who's done all the artwork on this, pixel for pixel. Takes a lot of time. It's really good when somebody can, come alongside you and do the artwork while you focus on the programming of the game. It's been really good. I couldn't do this without him, and I feel like it's basically the feeling's mutual for him.
Mission 1. Death at the docks.
So far. Now let's just speed up to this guy. I wanted to connect some of these guys right here. Everything looks good. There we go, coming up on the carrier. I commented out both of those pieces of code. That may have been the problem. It was interfering. Let's try this again on this other guy. So notice that the bullets are not connecting. Yes, those bullets are. For some reason, the shotgun bullets were connecting, and I don't want that to occur. I thought I commented those out. Let's verify. Commented out the wrong hit 5. I think that might be the problem, though. I feel like what I feel like is that these variables are fighting for position between each other, and that would be a problem. So comment the correct one out. Also, I'm just now noticing the carrier eyeball is basically 5 as well on here, which I changed that on the katana, but I think it's probably like that on this mini blast bullet as well. Hit 5. See, the way that I'm used to programming in software and PHP, Ruby, JavaScript, is that if you're in a loop, which basically is what the step event is, it's basically a loop that runs every step of basically 1 frame per however many frames you have. It runs once per frame, and I have 60 frames per second in this game. So it's basically in a loop which runs 60 times per second. Well, I'm feeling like these items are conflicting with each other for whatever reason. I don't know why they're not conflicting with any of the other weapons. I think the other weapons basically kill each enemy really quickly, so I'd never get a chance to use more than 1 weapon. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to try this exact same thing on the floating eyeballs. I'm going to try shooting them with a bullet first and then slicing them with a katana, because they don't die immediately with the bullet. So if I do that, I feel like I should be able to cause a similar error. If that's the case, I know for sure these are all fighting for position. If I make it past them to the carriers for some reason, because it doesn't error out, then I'll test this on the carriers as well. Shooting Rock Simulator 2015. That's funny. Alright, here we go.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Okay. Didn't really get a good chance to test that on the floating eyeballs. Try it again here in a second. It's coming at me again. Nope. Not able to make it occur. Also, those don't have a katana hit counter on them either. Not that that should cause a problem, but should be able to swipe just fine. Notice I took off the collision check, and I still had the issue. Wow. Okay, so that's fine. I mean that we're narrowing this down a little bit. That basically means that it wasn't an issue with the mini blast bullet or the shotgun blast bullet interfering. I'm going to leave those collision detections off for a minute, and I'm going to go back and focus on the katana for just a moment longer. Let me see what's in this in-step event. Okay, I'm okay with that. Back to the katana for a minute. I want to know what happens if I do a var hit 5. Var hit 5 equals 0. I'm grabbing that specifically from this right here where they're talking about the updates to scope. He's talking about Mike's problem and how he's used to variables overriding within a loop. And he basically he says this is how Mike was doing it, and within the loop here the variable the way he was doing it would have been overwritten, but now the new way he basically needs to instantiate the variable by setting it to an integer and then using it as an array. And I understand the reason why. It's because supposedly everything in the scripts or steps now are compiling down into one variable. So if there's a if there are basically two variables that are the exact same in a script or an event of an object, now they are compiling down. They are basically compiling down into one variable, and right or not, that's how they're doing it. And since I have this whole game so far built on GameMaker, I'm pretty far in. I'm trying to figure out my best how to make it work. So that change right there, let's see if that does anything to give us an update. So we'll go through the compile again here. And we'll hop back in game here in a moment. Okay, here we are, going back in.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Go fast forward straight to the carrier. Notice collision detection is turned off like we expect it to be. I'm going to come down here. I feel like it. Okay. I think I can reproduce it now based on that. I feel like it occurs when I collide the katana with the carrier, and then I go back and collide the katana with something else. I'm going to try to reproduce that. But before I do that, I'm going to go look at the weapon attack and see what the bubble eyeball is. What its variable name is. Let's check. Boss 1, Necrostar. object tank EB, 5 bubble eyeball hit 5A. Everything is 5A here, so there's nothing that should be like basically interfering with it. I want to see what this one does real quick. Script EBPM impact. It's basically like passing the object in object.ebm impact. I guess I could probably go .id there, but not so worried about that right now. Okay, I was going to try to reproduce it really quick. I think it reproduces when I hit something with the katana and then I hit something else before that other object dies. So I'm trying to reproduce it. That's strange. I never got too close to finishing a game because I never had the patience. I just love playing with networking and gamepad stuff. I was told Game Maker is easy to start up games, but harder to finish because of things like memory leaks and sprite underscore functions and such. It hasn't been too bad with memory leaks. I mean, you can easily program a memory leak in if you start a counter and you don't ever delete the counter. Thanks for the follow, Billy Bob Joe. It's awesome, man. Thank you. So basically, if you start a counter, basically, and then you have it repeat every, so often, or basically every step, and let's say you never reset the counter back to 0, or you never destroy the counter, then you can definitely have memory leaks all over the place and do stuff like that. Okay, so again, carrier, gonna swipe the carrier, then swipe something else. Swipe. Let's swipe the eyeballs. Ooh, nothing. Man, it's just not consistent. That's the problem. Like, sometimes it's a problem, sometimes it's not. Oh man, this bug. It's getting into me. There it is. Same exact one. Thinking. So something else that it could be is when the hitbox, so basically the katana's hitbox, I'll show you what it looks like. It's a fairly large hitbox, but it's correct, I believe. So here's the hitbox. The katana hitbox is right here. If I turn it on, you can see it. So the difference between all of them, if I put it on precise, it stays directly with the sprite. If I put it on ellipse, it stays in the place of the sprite the entire time. If I do diamond, it stays in place but is still connected to the sprite. And rectangle just basically covers everything in kind of a rectangular pattern. I'm wondering if what's happening is that this hitbox is hitting multiple things at once. So the hitbox stays alive for 0 through 7 images, or I should say 0 through 6, because it stops at 6. So because 0 is the index and it goes through 6, we have 7 sub-images here. I'm wondering if this occurs when the sub-image hits one item, which it might have done just then. It might have hit the carrier and then came over and also hit the eyeball. So let's try this again. See if I can reproduce again. Not quite, Chris. Not quite. Still troubleshooting. I think it was sprite assign and sprite replace that would use up memory even after deleting it. Interesting. That sucks. Yeah, making some progress, Chris. You're right. I mean, this is like a bug that's just basically you got to stop and figure out what the update is. And once you figure out the update, you're in good shape, and then you can update everything. But because it's not consistent, it's hard to troubleshoot it. Okay, and so I think it's when I connect. Ooh, there it is. Well, I was just about to fight a carrier and that happened. I'm looking at the debug message below. So basically what I'm looking at is it's looking for an INI file. Basically an init file. And since I don't have one, I'm wondering what the benefit of giving it an INI file at the very beginning is. I'll have to look that up. But I'm looking for when the error occurred. Audio group 1 loaded and then error. I wonder if that's affecting me. Entering main loop. Shouldn't be. That should just be regular debug output. But once again, I mean, we're stuck on Katana hit counter. And I know screen save is a memory leak no matter how it's used. The devs said they were going to remove it, which destroyed my previous method of pausing. That sucks. Yeah, I think I use a different version of screen save. I don't think I use that function specifically. I'll show you what I use here in a minute. Man, it's like everything turns into -4. Look, hit boss 1 tank drop, boss 1 tank, boss 1 attack, Necrostar 2, Necrostar 1. Those guys aren't even on the screen yet. Hit 5A. Hit 5 was the local variable. I guess they say it's a local variable because I've specified it with var. And then I have some global variables. Can I search this file? No, I can't. I'm looking for Katana hit counter in the global variables. I don't see it. And it doesn't look like it would be either. Well, that's good. I don't think it's interfering with each other. But what I do feel like might be interfering is these other variables. And so I'm wondering if I could do something as simple as declaring them all as local, and then I would have none as self. Self I'm seeing as an instance variable. I believe that's what GameMaker means when they have an instance variable. So let's go back into script weapon attack. We're in the sprites area. Script weapon attack. Say var Not sure if this is going to do it or not, but we're going to try. Basically, the first time it gets declared, we're going to try to specify it as a var right there. Which should turn it into a local variable. Hit 4A. We took 5 out. We have 5A and B here. There's a tank. Say var tank 1. Tank 1 EB2. Tank 1 EB3. I don't see tank 1 EB. I guess this is tank 1 EB, so that's fine. Tank 1 vein. Go ahead and say should connect. Necro hit. Var connect. Mainly trying to get the instance places turned into local variables, but I'm also turning other variables into local variables too. Let's see what that does for me. Connect equals true. It's specified right there. I don't have a variable set right there, so continuing on. Var should connect. Hurt. Local. Pass there. Hit boss 1 attack. Passed. Hit boss 1 tank. Hit boss 1 tank drop. Okay, let's go review for sanity check. I'm specifying var on each of these weapon impacts because it's in a huge if-else statement, if-else if-else statement. And whenever it hits any of these, it'll be specified for the first time in the script. I could do something simple, more simple, and specify like var weapon impact equals like 0 here, and I think I might even do that just so I can take it off all these other places. I don't like to do that. Again, I don't think that's good practice as a programmer because you're basically specifying an integer and then you're changing whatever your value is, and you're changing the type from an integer to what returns here would be luckily would be an integer, but in some cases you would, if I was using something else here, it would be like a string or something like that. Var, okay, good. Var, oh, there's one right there. Var. So let's just see. I mean, this might work out well. Hit 4, hit 4A, 5, hit 5A, hit 5B, tank 1 EB2, tank 1 EB3, var tank 1 vein. Should connect necro star, connect. Hit spot. Nothing. Connect is already specified as a var, local var. Okay. I wish, the one thing that I wish GameMaker did just a little bit better, especially when they give, big updates like this, would be to give like multiple examples, not just 1 or 2 examples, because I think sometimes they give 1 or 2 examples and the explanation still isn't clear. Like now, give me some like examples of the way you thought that programming it was incorrect, and then show me how you corrected them. If you did that, like we'd be on a completely different area. Level, which destroyed my previous method of plotting. So the error is the hitbox can't find what? I don't think it's so much the hitbox can't find anything. I think it's that the katana blade is supposed to be connecting with, it is the hitbox of the katana blade, but it's supposed to be connecting with, in particular, carrier 5. Sorry, the carrier, which we specify as variable hit 5. And that's when we get the bug every single time, is when, like, the only thing that outputs is that variable hit 5
Skycurser.
doesn't have the property katana hit
Mission
counter.
one,
So
death
let's try this
at
again.
dusk. Go.
I'll show you the katana hit counter in just a second. It's connected to the carrier. It is basically an instance variable. So let's fast forward here. Can't reproduce it yet. Ah, there it is. Which makes sense. It's on line 102 now instead of 101 because I added that extra line for weapon weapon impact. Hit 5 dot katana hit counter. Okay, let's go look at the variables that dumped out. Hit 5 set to -4. We only have a couple of self dot variables now. I don't see any other local variables specified, which is odd. And I don't see anything else set to -4 right now. Which is much better, but let's just go down here and make sure nothing else is -4. I mean, the other hard part is, like, I don't know if this is what is, like, if it's telling me that, you know, basically -4 isn't correct, or what. I mean, I think the instance ID is actually 100681, so this -4, I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it's just, I don't want, maybe 100681 is the object ID, and maybe -4 is the instance ID. I don't know. Or maybe the other way around. This object ID, this is the instance ID. All I can see from there is it's checking for the object -4, which isn't even supposed to be possible. Exactly. -4 name undefined. Like, what does that even mean? I mean, there's nowhere in here that I'm doing hit 5. I mean, I guess I can go check my scripts real quick. I pretty much canceled out hit 5 everywhere else. Hit 5 is in script weapon attack right there. But that whole section is commented out. Not really worried about that. Script weapon attack. Should now also see it inside of object Skycurser katana. I'm looking for it in places that I don't think it should be. All that looks normal to me. Hit 5B, hit 5A. I'm going to check for the whole word instead. Can I do that in that search? Whole word only. Go. Okay. Yep, and it's commented out in the shotgun blast bullet and the mini blast bullet. And now it's only at the Skycurser katana. All these are pretty much right next to each other, which is what I would expect. Same here, pretty much right next to each other in terms of line numbers. Yep, same there. Okay, so let's go keep this going here though, and go look at the enemy. Looking for tank 1. Object tank 1 goes to create, and it inherits an event which sets should set katana hit counter on the parent event, object base enemy. And this may be the problem. This may be the problem. I don't know. I'm going to try something. If it's not already updated. I may have updated this the other night. Check here. Yes, with argument 0. And guess what? Katana hit counters right there. So, I mean, Yeah, so instance ID is always stuff like 100083. Yeah. Object index is the number of the object in the list, and it's having a problem with the object index. So object Skycurser is object index 0. Are you using object index as their ID or something? Not really. I mean, no, I mean, I'm only doing, I'm basically pulling it in from the, I mean, you have to check against an object when you're using instance place. You're seeing if an instance of that object is connected to whatever it is that you're passing in. And I'm passing in this case, argument 0.x and argument 0.y. Argument 0 is when it goes through here, it's the katana. Notice I'm checking for an object type katana. I'm wondering if I'm doing that on number 5. Okay, so I mean basically it has to be the katana because now only have it in the step event. Should be XY object tank 1. I'm in the katana, so it's got to be the katana's XY. Should connect hit 5. Maybe this guy right here should. The other thing that might be happening is hit 5 not equal no one. I thought about this the other day, but haven't thought about it since, which is hit 5 hit 5 not equal no one may need to come out and be in here, and I may need to just do something like this. Take this, put it in here, and go. If hit 5 does not equal no one, take this guy out, and then put everything else in. Should connect. The whole thing with the katana hit counter is it's already set to true by default. Yeah. The whole thing with the katana hit counter is it's a variable that definitely has to be in place. It has to be in place because you don't with the katana it's different than connecting with the mini blast bullet or the shotgun blast bullet, because both of those bullets get destroyed on impact. The katana is different. It doesn't get destroyed on impact. So any step that katana is connecting with this method right here, it will try to run whatever is basically inside of here. If I'm doing something with it, I would have a connection every single step, and that I showed you a minute ago that step lasts for, that sprite lasts for 7 steps. It has 7 sub-images. So basically what was happening is the katana blade was connecting 7 times with every single enemy that it touched because of the ellipse shape, right? It's not set to precise masking. So so you have to kind of basically have a katana hit counter to make sure that with each swipe the katana blade only connects once. And I think we might have just fixed it though. This might be the thing that I had messed up. If it is, that's good because this should be a pretty easy fix, and maybe I won't have to go crazy with the local variables. So for now, I think this might have been the problem where it was trying to connect with something where so if there's no connection when this runs right here, the result or the value will be equal to no one. It's kind of a game maker value if there's no collision, and so it might have been trying to do no one dot katana hit counter, and I think that might fix the problem. So let's try this. I'm just making sure you have you have the difference between instances and objects in there. All the code is pretty overwhelming for me. Haha. Yeah, I do. That's a good check. It's a good thought. It's one of the first things I usually think of when I'm dealing with instances versus objects. Yeah, I had to learn that game pretty quickly on when I was getting started. Basically, any copy of an object, if there's more than one on if there's more than one of an object on screen, it's an instance of the object. You can just put the object on screen itself and refer to everything, all the properties of that object, but the second that you put more than one object on screen, you have to refer to it by its instance ID.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Okay, I'm gonna fast forward. Good. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Different bug. We successfully made it past that bug, guys. Oh my gosh. I think we're in a good spot. I think we really are. I copied that bug. I think we're past that bug, guys. Why was this bug not occurring in the previous version of GameMaker? That's my question. If you use YYC, I think there's a whole other crazy thing you have to do with variables because it doesn't allow no one. Great! Because I would love to compile the YYC. I actually tried it the other day and it compiled the YYC. I got a successful compile finally after a couple of tries, and then when I booted it up, it wasn't that impressive. It wasn't doing everything that it was supposed to do. So I'll have to look into that when I'm ready to compile the YYC. Not a big deal at the moment because I think you have to. I basically have a copy of Visual Studio, but it's only good for 30 days. I was testing out the YYC compiler and had some issues with it. I'm pretty sure by the time I get back to it, I'm probably going to need to just go ahead and purchase Visual Studio in order to keep it, because I'm pretty sure it costs. YYC doesn't work on my Windows 8 for some reason. Awesome. Well, you do have to basically have Microsoft Visual Studio. Have you downloaded that yet, Billy Bob? Okay, so this bug, instance ID.weapon impact, katana hit 5.hp minus equals 1 times global.hit impact times just straight weapon impact. That's probably the problem. This is step normal event 1. Yep. I think the problem is it's not sure what weapon impact is. Even though for sure I have weapon impact specified in the create event. I have Visual Studio Community, have the right file location, everything. Nice. Visual Studio Community is free and it comes with the SDK. So I went through the whole process of downloading Microsoft Visual Studio 2012. And so maybe when that expires, I'll just go back and download Visual Studio Community. This is good. This is really good because Visual Studio Community, I didn't want to have to pay for Visual Studio 2012. So I'm looking for weapon impact. All I have here is katana impact in the create event, and I do not have weapon impact here. So I think what that was previously referring to, you know, actually I think I can just go ahead back over to where we were, make this update correctly, remove all my variables in the weapon attack, because I would actually really prefer that I was back in the weapon attack. That would be very encouraging to me as a developer, considering that would be a very minor change with everything. Okay. Yeah, so I'm doing a check for hit 5. I'm basically saying hit 5 in all these places. It's crazy. I'm basically checking for hit 5 in all these places, but it's highly unlikely. You know, there are some instances where it just might be equal to no one, and you can't have no one dot whatever. Now weapon impact should work because weapon impact is inside of this file right here and is set based on what is passing it, what is coming through here. So let's just modify this really quick. I think I'll just leave that guy right there. If there we go. Take these guys out because they probably wouldn't work anyways. Again, most of the time wouldn't work, I should say. Take this stupid declaration out of the var hit 5. I'll leave these other vars in here for a moment, and we'll go back and verify that all this is working. He said, I went to the forums for help, and some guy was like, yeah, it's picky, and that's all the help I got. Awesome. Oh, issue is YYC just doesn't work at all. I make one object that has a equals 0 in a room, and it tells me there was a compile error. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Yeah. It's dumb. Yeah. I was having issues too. Honestly, I don't even know what I changed in order to get a good compile out of it. Only got one, took much longer, and then when it finally compiled, it definitely, like, I was able to be in the room and everything was in there, but none of the clouds were moving, none of the background was moving, no enemies were coming on screen. It was really odd. Okay, feel like we've addressed this, guys. I feel like we've addressed this. You've been loyal. You've hung around. I think we're probably going to have more bugs that we got to deal with because of the update, but I think this has all been my problem up to this point and nothing to do with GameMaker. I think the old version of GameMaker was super lax on how they were letting me deal with that. They were basically ignoring it if it was undefined.
Start mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Bring it. Guys, we are in good shape. Keep trying here because I know we got some more carriers. Notice I still took all my connections from the other as I was troubleshooting. This is really promising. We got it, guys. We nailed it. Nailed the bug. I'm gonna fast forward to the other carriers in this stage. Go. I caused a bug with the Griffin special. I basically did the exact same thing where I'm looking for something that doesn't exist with the Griffin special. Very, very good. I mean, I'm so pumped. I'm so freaking pumped about that. This is very good. Okay, back to script weapon attack. We're doing this same issue in a couple of other places, and we want to fix that. We're looking for something like should connect. Here's a should connect. We got that one right. That's the carrier one that we just addressed. Don't think it would be there. I think we might have the issue here. So, basically do this if boom, drop this guy in here, take everything in here, push it over, remove this guy. And I'm going to remove all my vars here in a second, so we should not. I went berserk troubleshooting, and now I've just got to revert those changes, so bear with me a second, guys. And we're going to fix everything where the hit not equal no one should be in place. Okay. So let's just remove all the vars here, because there's literally no reason I should have any vars in this file at all. Var gone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank goodness, Game Maker. Game Maker, you've restored my faith in humanity. I would actually prefer Game Maker to error when I do something like that. But it wasn't doing that before, so I didn't know there was a problem in the way I had it. And so when I made the update, man, I just instantly thought it had to do with the new variable scoping. So, man, this is so good. I'm so glad about that. Can I say it enough? Var, 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 var. Technically, I'm not using variables the correct way either, guys. Like something like this guy right here, should connect equals true, should definitely just be a variable. I should definitely just have it declared as a variable. But since I'm just reverting my changes right now, I'm just going to continue reverting the declaration of variable for local scope. In this case, hit boss 1 maybe should be a variable. I mean, you're basically setting it here, but I would say things right here, like this right here, should connect equals true is something that would be more like a local variable than something like hit boss 1, which is actually an object. Could you set a local variable to an object? Yes, but I'm not sure if that's the best idea. So I'm not going to do it right now. Almost done. And we'll see if we did that, any of that stupidity in any other place. Basically anything that had a should connect check. So we're going to start from the top, search for should connect. Find me next. Should connect, good. Not equal no one is right after should connect. Keep moving, should connect necro. Not equal no one. I bet I did it in necro 2. And I did, so we're going to fix it right now. And I did it in boss 1. And that's it. So necro 2 and boss 1. So we just got to update it there, and we're scot-free. X if boom and we should be good there. Not equal no one, boom. Yep, it's fine to check then. And so what's next now that you got this bug fixed? Good question. We'll look at our list here in just a second. Okay, take this guy out. If. Interesting. I guess I can label issues. Oh, nice. That's a new discovery for Game Maker. Maybe I should know that already, but I didn't. I can basically label lines and come back to them. It looks like I'm not exactly sure what the benefit is, other than to maybe do some debugging. Have a debug point in my code. Should connect equals true. Should connect is right there. Hitbox does not equal no one. I think we're good. Let's have a playthrough, shall we? Search var. Find it. Previous. Nothing. Let's search for should connect one more time. Start at the end, and then move our way backwards. Making sure that whenever it's right after it's declared, there's a check for not equal no one. Basically, right after the object is check occurs, and we're good there. Yep, good there. Boom. Okay, let's try this. Update. I'm going to have a playthrough real quick. I probably just fast forward it all the way through to the boss and just fight the boss, make sure everything feels the way I think it should. So if you haven't joined us before, you know that, if you have joined us, I guess I should say, you'll know that we only have one level complete up to this point. And you're looking at the level right now. I'm getting ready to start working on level 2 and beyond after I address a little bit of NPC feedback. Okay. Go ahead and speed up here. Expect it to. Here's the boss. Good. Back to normal, guys.
Mission complete.
The game's pixel art is insane. Chris, if you're listening, that was a shout out to you. Yeah, it is insane, man. Just like every single pixel was hand drawn.
Skycurser.
Go to meat mode and test quickly. I'm gonna die a couple times so I can get my pals back.
Continue.
Yeah, right back where we guys. Okay, perfect. Alright. Now. So, to answer your question, Billy Bob Joe, there are a couple of things that need addressed from MGC that we talked about, and then I've got tons of code cleanup to do in terms of better organization of code, and I mentioned that a little bit tonight, but I wasn't exactly sure what was happening with the new update. Just to recap on what was happening with the new update and the bug that we spent troubleshooting for a couple hours now. I haven't troubleshot it at all since last stream. I streamed 2 nights ago. I was just hopping back on stream to do some more troubleshooting, so total I probably troubleshot it for about 2 hours after the problem. I thought it was for sure a variable scoping issue. Fortunately, it looks to me like I've been programming correctly, the way that they prefer in terms of variable scoping. But GameMaker was previously lax on some errors that I had, and their new engine did not allow me to be so lax on my errors. So it was having a problem every time, and based on what I saw, I thought it was just, again, a variable scoping issue. Turned out that it wasn't. Hallelujah. Thank you, GameMaker, for now giving me errors when I should have had errors in the first place. So when there probably should have been errors there in the first place. So I'm super pumped about that. Okay, now, next. Those things that we're going to address, we can find them over on Trello. Trello has some MGC. Some MGC feedback we had was related to some of the inertia the plane has. A very slight amount of acceleration, a very slight amount of deceleration. We're going to play with this. I'm not sure that we're going to take it all the way out. I'm not sure that we're going to leave it all the way in. We're still all trying to figure this out together. Almost every shmup has no. Well, I guess I should say I can't speak for every shmup, but almost every competitive shmup has almost no inertia, no acceleration, no deceleration. If you push forward, you go forward. There's no slightly speeding up and then at full speed. And when you let go of the key, there's no slightly slowing down and then stopping. It's just you push over, you move at the speed you're going to move, you push, you stop pushing the button, and you stop moving. That's just how it works. And so we got a lot of feedback about that at MGC. Very simple very simple update to make that we can remove inertia. There's a minor bug on the video player. I'm not sure if we'll get to that. I noticed a minor bug on the asteroid depth. Meat mode speed, I'm going to speed up a little bit. I just feel like meat mode stays too long at the current level. I'm going to probably reduce the current level down to about 7 seconds so it speeds up much quicker and is a little bit more enjoyable quicker for the player. There's a minor bug with the EBP missile. I think whenever the deflection occurs, let me see. I'm not sure what this one is at the moment. I was thinking about it, and I think I was confused with a different bug, but I don't remember the reason that I have this here at the moment. I'm going to jog my memory and see what the bug is. But also, we've talked about the scoring system. I don't really have updates right now to make because I think it's going to require some discussion between myself, Chris, and Phil, the three of us indie devs who are working on this project. And then there's a problem with the initials entry screen. There's two problems, actually. The initials entry screen needs a timer. No. So we'll add that. And I think we're good. So I'm going to focus on the things that are very low-hanging fruit initially. So I'm going to focus on acceleration for Skycurser. And I may be able to knock out deceleration just as quickly as I knock out acceleration. Okay, I think we're good there. It's not there, and it would be here. Speed equals 3. Limit speed to 4 pixels per frame. Global.level complete equals false. Speed is greater than or equal to 3 than 3. So basically let's just go back to the place where we've got all the speed sections at in here. We want it to be the whole word only. We're fine with that speed, fine with that speed, fine with that speed. Yep, keep going, and this is the speed that needs updated. Basically, the speed that controls the directional input. It's almost 11 p.m. and I got to get up early and stuff, so see you, dude. Yeah, man, totally. See ya. Hopefully see you on here again, man. Thanks again for the follow, and thanks for the convo. Really appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Okay. Speed equals 3. So instead of doing a plus equals 0.5, we're just going to set it straight to 3. Speed equals 3. We'll do the same thing basically in all these locations. I think that's it, guys. I mean, leaving this code down here, this was basically to let it max out. Of course, when you stop moving, your speed goes down to 0. And then when you start moving, your speed increments by 0.5 per step. So literally there were only 6 steps where you would speed up or slow down. 6 steps out of 60 steps in the room. So I've added that. I've updated that. Now when I start moving, it should move straight at 3 steps per second. Or I should say 3 speed per step. A speed of 3 pixels per step. If I keep trying to say it, I'll say it. Game looks pretty cool. How long have you guys been working on it? One Arius, I think that's how you pronounce your name. We've been working on it for a little over a year. It's not our full-time job. We work on it in the evenings. So if you count that as total time, we've probably put in about 5 to 6 months on the project. Nereus. Yeah. So we've probably put in about 5 to 6 months full-time on the project if you count all the time we put in on the weekends and in the evenings. So yeah, we put a lot of time in. Thanks for the compliment as well. Okay. Oh, so I just jumped in and I got sidetracked with the conversation. We're going to jump back in and we're going to test out the new speed. Impressive progress. You mean in terms of time that we've worked on, how much progress we've made in terms of the time that we've put in? Is that what you're saying? I make stuff in GM in my free time too. Awesome. What are you working on?
Mission 1, Death at Dusk.
I mean, it doesn't feel bad. It just goes straight there. Now when I slow down, I definitely do feel the inertia. It takes a minute for it to stop. Okay, we'll try this. Alright, now back to where we were. And I want to cut out now the slowing speed. Shotgun, katana, Vulcan cannon. So if key up, level out Skycurser after movement. Keyboard check, key down, false. That's the leveling of Skycurser. We want to... I think the leveling speed is in alarm 1, and I think the slowing down speed is in alarm 1. I'm wondering what that's going to look like. Let's look at alarm 0 first. That should just be firing the target. Yes, it is. And then slowing down. This is a lot of leveling code. I'm wondering if the speed is in here. Doesn't look like it is. This is good though because I didn't want to touch speed in here. I wanted to make, I would prefer relatively that speed is untouched in this alarm. Let's go back to the step and look for how the deceleration occurs. The art, the mechanics looks like it's pretty advanced for 5 months of part-time work from 3 people. Thanks, man. Yeah, we take it seriously, and we fortunately, Chris is really good at what he does. Um, During the day, I'm a professional software engineer, so the transition to this game hasn't been too difficult. It's required a lot of reading through documentation to make sure I have kind of everything, understood correctly. Um, but yeah, it's been really good overall. And Phil is our hardware guy. He's done a lot of getting our hardware up and working and putting it in the cabinet and stuff. So alarm one. I don't see the place where Skycurser slows down. I'm trying to find that right now. It's not here, that's for sure. I'm wondering if it's in any script. I'm going to check alarm 0 one more time. Nope. So I'm going to search through here for scripts. Script underscore. Not the whole word. Glasses, guy in the cockpit. Skycurser return home. Weapon transition. Shotgun determine step. Animate shotgun. Pixel placement. I don't think it would be pixel placement, but I'll go check it. Guessing it's under helpers. Yeah, it's going to be an exclusive arcade release. Yep, it's going to be exclusive, and it will be. Yeah, it's going to be exclusive to arcade. I don't see anything in here that's controlling the speed. Glad about that. I'm going to search my whole project for minus equals 0.5 or minus equals 0.1, or just minus equals even. There shouldn't be a ton of those. Let's do a search. Of course, that's not true. Minus equals, oh, it's searching for the whole word. Skycurser dies. Weapon attack, collide. Is that just minus or minus equals? It's just a minus. Come on, game maker. I put minus equals on there. Try again. Guess it's just going to show me the minus. I know it doesn't just stop whenever you lift up on the key. There's no way. Let's go back here. I mean, why didn't it pick that up? Oh well. I think that's a problem with their search, a small bug that I see. But I'm not going to sweat about it. I'm basically just looking for update controls. Let's see. I want to see. Shotgun, katana, Vulcan. So I have the direction. Keyboard check. If the key down, man, I swear it's got to be in this one, in this alarm right here. But I'm not seeing it, so I'm gonna keep moving for a second. I'm gonna go check that alarm in again in a second. Keyboard check. Keyboard check. That's determining if there's a weapon transition that should happen. Keyboard check, key down, keys disabled is equal to false. Makes sense, makes sense. Special activated. Just don't like where this guy is. I think he should be right there instead of right there for whatever reason. Okay, so we're going back to look at the alarm at the 1. Vulcan cannon. Dealing with all the positions of the Vulcan cannon. Shotgun. All this looks right. I see nothing in here about slowing, speed, or speeding up. Man, I'm wondering if the movement, if the deceleration is a real thing. I'm starting to think that it's not. I'll be done in a little bit. So we're going to just go back in and test and see if there's, if it feels like there's any deceleration. I feel like there's got to be. I'm just not sure where it's, the deceleration is occurring.
Skycurser Mission 1. Death at dusk.
Yeah, there's definitely some inertia in there. Yeah, he's not stopping right away. Looking through my scripts here. Let's check this guy out. Nope. Thought it might be good for a second, but nothing. Okay, so the next thing that I'm thinking to check out is a controller. If there's nothing else that I can find it in here, and I can't find it anywhere there. Could be in controller persistent, the step event. So I'm going to look here real quick. Don't see anything there. Room level 1. I mean, I don't think it would be in room level 1 or even in the other controller, but I'm just verifying. Cool. For a minute I thought I found something, but I think I'm in a good spot still. I mean, this is basically, this right here occurs at the end of the level. Skycurser flies off the screen, even though he's invisible initially. I'm going to search for this string right here. Scripts, search, go, paste, go. Return home, level complete. Ooh, oh. Controller room level 1. Why am I looking there? Oh, this is the same one. For some reason I thought this was, thought that was the persistent controller. I mean, I can't just search for dot speed. I could search for dot speed minus. Dot speed minus. Let's try that. It only looks for dot speed. I mean, there's more places than that for dot speed. Come on. Shotgun, enemy 1 movement. Tons of places for speed. Sorry guys, I know this is taking longer than I expected, but really trying to see how this feels after we get it taken out. Enemy 5 generate. Nope. Tank, boss, Necrostar. Orbs, movement, boss. Reset game. Nope. Shouldn't be in there. Speed multiplier. Speed engine all over the place. Yep. I guess I could check in the speed engine, but I don't think it's going to be in there. Nope. That was a good check. Generate clouds, level complete, Skycurser, alarm 0. Alright, is it in there? Speed multiplier. Level 1, background level 1. All background enemy generator. Okay, going back to object Skycurser area. Here we go. Let's look here first. Okay, it's probably talking about that bullet dot speed, which is fine. Okay. Now let's look at this guy. Line 210. Speed multiplier. Okay. Speed multiplier, speed multiplier. Yep, that makes sense. What's the speed multiplier in persistent controller? Got it. It helps with the fast forward. Once again, helps with the fast forward, or the opposite of the fast forward, just kind of playing at regular speed. Let me think for a second. I'm wondering if in the step event of Object Skycurser, we should simply just immediately set the speed to 0 if the player isn't using any of the keys. I don't want to copy that guy. Zero. So we should be able to do is equal to false. And do the same for all the other keys. Up, down, left, right. That should do it. Up, down, left, right. Up, down, left, right. Because I know there's inertia happening. This is the whole reason why I'm trying to address this. I know there is inertia occurring, and I'm wondering if, you know, basically you hold a key down, you speed up to 3. If you let go, it feels like it's just slowing down over a period of time, maybe like at least at the speed of like minus equals 1. So it would take about 3 frames to slow down. I'll take this guy. I'm going to put it down here with the overall speed limiter. Try speed equals 0. Okay, so we're compiling again. Onirius. Cool name.
Skycurser.
Okay, here we go.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
That's a drastic change. Interesting. I mean, it definitely feels different. I mean, it doesn't feel quite, you know, I mean, we've been playing with it like this for a while now. It doesn't quite feel the same, obviously. I mean, he stopped the second he stopped. The other weapons. I gotta fix that before I call it a night. Please don't close on me, Game Maker. I did not mean to close Game Maker. Reopening. Okay, I'll be up in a little bit. Sorry, it takes forever for it to boot back up, so I'm gonna just fix this, make sure that make sure we re-enable the weapons for the tank/carrier. Objects, Skycurser, weapons, mini blast bullet, step. Bring it back. Boom. Good, good. And bring it back here. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Thanks, it was the name of the first game I tried making with Game Maker. I should go back to it at some point. Yeah, dude. That'd be awesome. Was it a shmup or a platformer, or was it going to be a smartphone game? What kind of game was it? I think we got that. No. This is going to be checked for now, but I may come back to this and uncheck these depending on what we decide. Definitely feels new and unique, but I would also like to get some feedback from some competitive shmup players on how they feel about it. So I'm going to also allow the player to advance the cursor on the initials entry screen. This should be a very low-hanging fruit. Room initials, which is actually an object. Okay, it's both. Room initials entry, object high scores. If I open it up to show it to you, it's got the object high scores initials in there. So I'm using object high scores initials. Okay. Key up, key down, key left, key right. So apparently people also want key fire to be an option here. Or so make sure these are together. And this actually needs one more because that one is the outer one. Yep. This one is that one, and that one is that one. Okay. So if key fire should allow it to advance. Oh, I did see a bug on the high score screen at MGC. Minor bugs. Position 1, high score, followed by position 2, high score. Love you. Comments. No, not comment. Delete. Delete comment, add an item. Okay, there we go. So this bug in particular is one time I went and tried to score a high score on Skycurser at MGC. I scored a high score, and then behind me another player came and scored a score that was very close to the high score. And when he went to save, it had him saved as position 2, but it gave him the exact same score as position 1's high score. And that was definitely a bug because he had about 100 points less. So we've got to make sure that doesn't happen. I should go back to it at some point. It was going to be a side-scrolling shmup where you went into people's dreams to shoot their nightmares. That's pretty cool. The name of a portmanteau of One-Eric, Dreamlike, and Gradius. The name is a portmanteau of One-Eric, Dreamlike, and Gradius. Nice. Onerius. Nice. So, not going to deal with that guy right now. I think I just did deal with this guy. And I don't know if I have a timer on the room. I'll probably give it a 30-second timer. Give the player plenty of time. Plenty of time here. Make sure we have a counter started. Side select blink 1, side select blink 2, side select blink 3. Okay, let's just give it a counter right here. Just give it a simple room counter equals 0. Room counter plus plus. And then, let's just do the room counter at the bottom. No, let's do it at the top. I'm fine with that. And if room counter is greater than or equal to room speed times 30, which should basically be 30 seconds. I saw that I could just turn this into next room, because I have a variable called next room that I instantiated in the create event, and it's basically room high scores. Go to next room at 30 seconds. At 30 seconds, time's up. Should be plenty of room for the player to enter. Basically for the player to enter all their initials. I'm going to say that's done. I'll check it later. No, I'll check it right now. That'll be the last thing I check. Scoring system, meat mode, speed. Oh wait, this can be a very quick update. Room level 1, step, story, meat. Okay, I don't see it there. It's got to be here. Meat mode. Where did I put that one? So how did you guys decide to work on Skycurser? The three of us used to work at the same company, and one of the guys got a Raspberry Pi for Christmas, and he decided that he would try to build an arcade game on the Raspberry Pi.